Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. The story of the largest and most powerful heavy-lift helicopter in the United States military begins with the original CH-53 Sea Stallion, introduced in 1966 as a heavy-lift aircraft built to move troops, artillery, vehicles, and supplies farther than smaller helicopters could manage. The early CH-53A gave the Marine Corps a major jump in lift and assault mobility, especially in rough combat environments where speed and carrying power mattered most. It was followed by the CH-53D, which refined the design with improvements in power, reliability, and payload, helping the Sea Stallion family stay useful across a wider range of expeditionary missions. But the real giant of the older generation was the CH-53E Super Stallion. With 3 engines, a 7-bladed main rotor, and much greater lifting strength, the CH-53E became the Marine Corps' premier heavy-haul helicopter for decades. It could move large numbers of Marines internally, carry big sling loads externally, and recover equipment other aircraft could not touch. In external lift demonstrations, CH-53E crews have hauled major loads beneath the fuselage while carefully managing cable swing, power demand, airspeed, and balance. That kind of flying requires steady hands and disciplined coordination from pilots and crew chiefs, because a heavy sling load can turn a helicopter into a constantly shifting machine. Those demanding missions set the conditions for the next chapter. The CH-53K King Stallion was developed as the successor to the CH-53E, but it is far more than a simple update. It was built to lift more weight, carry it farther, and perform in the hot, high, and harsh environments where older aircraft lose performance. Although it carries forward the Sea Stallion name and mission, the CH-53K is a new generation heavy lifter with stronger engines, composite rotor blades, an upgraded drive system, and modern digital controls. In simple terms, it represents the evolution of Marine Corps heavy lift from a Cold War workhorse into a digital battlefield giant. And to understand how skilled Marines start and fly the largest military helicopter ever built, you first have to understand that every King Stallion mission rests on decades of CH-53 development. From the A and D models to the mighty CH-53E that proved just how valuable brute airborne lifting power could be in marine aviation. Marine experience in Vietnam, the Middle East, and shipboard assault operations taught the Corps that bigger loads and harsher environments demanded a stronger, smarter successor than ever before. But raw lifting power means nothing without maintenance, and on the CH-53K that work begins long before the engines start. Marine maintainers inspect the helicopter carefully, moving across the airframe to examine rotor blades, hub components, engines, hydraulic lines, landing gear, avionics, and cargo systems. On an aircraft this large, every panel hides a major mechanical system, and every system must be checked before flight. The King Stallion was designed for punishing heavy lift work from ships, expeditionary sites, and austere landing zones, so keeping it airworthy demands discipline, technical skill, and constant attention to detail. This is one reason the aircraft's path toward operational service mattered so much. HMH-461, the first fleet squadron to operate the CH-53K, helped push the helicopter toward initial operational capability, receiving aircraft, building confidence, and proving the platform could transition from testing into real marine use. Once maintenance and inspections are complete, the startup process begins, and even that is a deliberate evolution from stillness to controlled violence. Aircrew and ground crews coordinate closely as electrical systems come alive. Cockpit displays illuminate. Engine indications are watched. What looks simple from a distance is actually a sequence of checklist, discipline, system monitoring, and crew trust. Pilots have to watch caution panels, power readings, and flight control responses, while maintainers ensure the aircraft remains stable and safe on deck. Once airborne, the King Stallion reveals why it is such a major leap in capability. Marines have used the aircraft for terrain flying, aerial gunnery, external heavy lift, and operational missions that show just how much control and strength this helicopter gives its crews. Terrain flying is one of the clearest tests of pilot skill, because crews move a massive aircraft low across changing ground, using contour, speed, and formation spacing to stay tactically useful while avoiding threats and obstacles. Add aerial gunnery, and the workload rises again, with aircrew balancing aircraft handling, navigation, threat awareness, and weapons employment at the same time. But the role that best defines the CH-53K is external heavy lift. This helicopter has lifted Joint Light Tactical Vehicles, transported oversized battlefield cargo, and even recovered damaged aircraft, including a downed Navy MH-60 helicopter and a non-flyable F-35 airframe. Those missions demonstrate exactly why the Marine Corps wanted a new heavy lifter. The CH-53K was designed to move what other aircraft cannot, especially in the demanding hot, high, and austere conditions where older helicopters lose useful payload. One of the biggest reasons it can do that so effectively is its fly-by-wire flight control system. Unlike older heavy helicopters that relied more on direct mechanical control and brute pilot input, the King Stallion uses digital controls that help stabilize and refine handling. That matters most when a heavy sling load is hanging below the aircraft, shifting in the wind and tugging against every small control correction. Fly-by-wire does not replace pilot skill, it sharpens it. Marines still have to judge power margins, aircraft attitude, load swing, airspeed, terrain, and clearance at every second. But the digital system gives them a more responsive and manageable machine. The aircraft's importance is also tied to what it costs and what it replaces. The CH-53K is one of the most advanced and expensive helicopters the Marine Corps has ever bought, with a unit production cost often discussed because the aircraft is expected to carry the Corps' heaviest assault support missions for decades. Pre-flight preparation reflects that seriousness. Before operational takeoff, Marines work through inspections, crew coordination, cargo plans, and flight checks so that once the helicopter lifts off, it is ready to deliver, recover, or defend assets too large, too heavy, or too important for smaller rotorcraft to handle. That flexibility is why the aircraft matters in expeditionary warfare. A heavy helicopter may have to insert forces on one sortie, recover equipment on the next, and then move artillery, vehicles, or aircraft wreckage before the day is over. The CH-53K was built for exactly that sort of mixed demanding schedule. Its triple-engine power and advanced rotor system give crews stronger lift margins, especially when temperature, altitude, or distance begin cutting into performance on older helicopters. Yet, the King Stallion is not just a giant flying crane. Inside its large cabin, it can move infantry, Marines, pallets, equipment, and other mission-essential cargo needed to support assault forces after insertion. Internal cargo matters because Marine operations do not always begin with a sling load beneath the aircraft. Sometimes the fastest way to build combat power is to pack troops and supplies inside the helicopter. Launch quickly, land where needed, and keep the assault moving. That makes the CH-53K highly suitable for Marine assault missions, especially raids and air assaults where lift, speed, and flexibility can decide success. The aircraft's size also makes it well-suited for sea-based warfare. Marines need helicopters that can operate from amphibious ships, survive corrosive maritime conditions, and support expeditionary missions launched directly from the sea. The King Stallion was built with exactly that environment in mind. It can also expand its range through aerial refueling, a capability that gives crews far more endurance and freedom to support long-distance lift missions across littoral and maritime spaces. A helicopter that can carry internal cargo, move external heavy loads, refuel in the air, and launch from ships becomes more than a transport aircraft. The CH-53K became a central tool of Marine assault support. Over the years, U.S. Marines have learned to operate America's largest military helicopter by skillfully mastering a machine shaped by its long evolution, refined through demanding maintenance and disciplined startup procedures, and proven through terrain flight, aerial gunnery, heavy external lift, internal cargo transport, aerial refueling, and sea-based assault operations. The King Stallion is not simply bigger than its predecessors. It is a new level of Marine heavy lift aviation, giving crews the power to move more weight, farther, faster, and under harder conditions than ever before. That versatility is why Marine planners see the aircraft as a bridge between ship and shore, able to deliver troops, sustain them, recover damaged assets, and keep an assault force moving after the first landing. In that sense, The King Stallion is not just supporting the assault. It helps create the tempo, reach, and staying power that marine expeditionary operations depend on at sea. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.